Welcome to another episode of Broncos HQ. I'm your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, next to the Hall of Famer, Steve Atwater. It's week 8, and the Broncos stand at 5-2, getting ready to host the Dallas Cowboys at Empower Field at Mile High. After witnessing some Mile High magic versus the New York Giants, the Broncos look to extend their home winning streak to 9 games. Steve, 3 of the next 4 games will be played at home. How crucial is this stretch to really make a strong push and stay atop the AFC West?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a benefit to have through the next 4 games played at home. When you play at home, you have your home fans there. Everybody's rolling, everything is going well, and you got to take advantage of that while it's there, because when you go into the opposing environment, it's kind of hostile. So we want to make sure we take advantage of this. And 2 of the teams in our conference, in our division, are right behind us. Just 1 game back, so we don't have that big of a lead. So we got to make sure we keep it.
How do you see this defense rebounding? Because they're going to go against the Cowboys, which have the number 1 total offense in the NFL, and they just had a really good performance in Week 7.
Yeah, we got to come out and play well. We can't give up any big plays. We got Javonte Williams, we got Dak Prescott, we got Daggone Pickens. Man, they have a very good offense, and they're explosive. They can score from any place on the field. We got to make sure we're ready to go right from the first snap on defense.
When you look at this Cowboys offense, CeeDee Lamb has had 3 games of 110-plus receiving yards, and then you have George Pickens, who has 12 catches of 20-plus more receiving yards. When you look at this high-powered offense, what are the keys to the game in order for this team to get a win?
Yeah, well, first off, yeah, you're right. They have a very explosive offense, and our defense is going to have to minimize those explosive plays. We gave up 7 of those versus the Giants. And I think a reasonable number is 2 to 4. You're going to give up some plays. These guys, they practice, they play, they're professionals as well. So you're going to give up a few plays, but you want to limit those. Also, our offense has to have more consistent drives that end in points. We've been doing it, but it's actually been a little later in the game. We got to get it going there in the first quarter and have just a little bit more consistency with that. And then penalties. We increased penalties again back to 12. I think 12 for 127 yards. That needs to be in the 3 to 5 range in terms of penalties. And that we got it down to 6 for 37 the previous game. So we got to work on that to make sure that we're being disciplined while we're out there on the field.
Well, the Cowboys are 1-2 on the road so far this season and have lost 7 straight games to the Broncos. The Broncos are looking for some more Mile High magic to extend their home winning streak to 9 games. The Broncos announced they will wear their 1977 inspired throwback uniforms in Week 8 against the Cowboys. They will also wear it 2 more times this season, in Week 10 for primetime and Week 18, both versus AFC West opponents. Denver was 2-0 in the uniform set during the 2024 season. We caught up with the team as they look ahead to the matchup.
The Broncos are just such a historic franchise. You see clips from back in the day of just the Broncos playing well and dominating in those clean unis. So be able to bring them back into the new day and age is definitely a privilege. I think we definitely add some juice and some excitement to the game day for sure.
I think the throwback uniforms we have are the best in the league, honestly. So, definitely excited to throw that on and get the fans a good show.
It'll be a great challenge, it's good for us to be able to go against the best and be able to prove that we're the best. And, that's our goal every week, is to go out there and prove ourselves. And, it'll be a great test.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be a fun measuring stick to see where we're at. And, it's going to be really good to see kind of how we bounce back after last week. Obviously last week wasn't up to our standard. And, this is a really good team that you can't kind of get behind on. So we definitely, got to, come out fast and hopefully have a good day.
This weekend is also our Vamos Broncos game to celebrate Hispanic heritage. It will feature the return of Lucha Libre located south of Main Street, a special Hispanic heritage-themed halftime performance, Vamos Broncos friendship bracelets as the giveaway, and more. So make sure you guys get there early. But Steve, how special are these Vamos Broncos games?
Well, the Hispanic fan base is super important to Broncos country, to Denver Broncos, to the city here. I remember when I was in Mexico City with some of the players. We had a wonderful time out there. We did the Lucha Libre, the wrestling, and I was right there, right by the stage, and I saw how realistic it was. But it also was a little bit of acting. But it was a great time. And I'm just hoping that they bring that Vamos energy to the game. This is a big game. We need the dub. and let that energy rub off on the players.
Oh, for sure. And me being salvadoreña, I get a lot of pride with these games because it means so much to just celebrate Hispanic heritage, whether it's through music, food, and obviously seeing some really good football on the field. Well, before we get out of here, it's time for our Hall of Famer to pick the dark horse of the game, the player he feels will have an impact in Week 8. So, Steve, I see you looking at your notes. Who is it going to be this week?
Oh, man, I keep coming back to him. J.K. Dobbins again. Now, the Cowboys, they've been allowing 141 yards a game rushing, okay? And J.K., he's had a 100-yard game already this year. It's time for the second one. Let's get it, J.K. You're the man. We're going to feed you the rock, and we're going to get another 100-yard game. That's our dark horse player for this week.
Steve, I have to ask you, what would be your lucha libre name?
How would you say this in
Spanish?
In Spanish.
Español. Oh.
There we go. The orange and blue assassin.
Oh, the orange and blue.
Orange and blue assassin.
El asesino naranja y azul.
That's it.
Orange and blue. That's true?
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds smooth, too. I like that.
Well, there you have it, Broncos country. That will do it for Broncos HQ. I'm your host and team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, next to the Hall of Famer, Steve Atwater. A reminder that kickoff versus the Cowboys is at 2:25 p.m. Mountain Time at Empower Field at Mile High. Remember to get there early to enjoy the festivities of our Vamos Broncos game versus the Dallas Cowboys.